Hey, how y'all doing? We're gonna let this roll for a few seconds. I know it's spirit of the moment and nobody's expecting me because y'all ain't seen me in a minute, but we hoping to get some notifications going out there. Maybe we can get one, two, three, four, maybe five viewers. Man, I really apologize. I really do apologize for not being able to be here with you all over the last few weeks, man. It's been crazy, man. You know, I'm in a position where I got to fight for my home. You know, I'm supposed to be going to get my son to bring him home, and that's crazy. That's neither here nor there, but we just gonna go. Hey, brother, I sure how you doing, man? I'm blessed, despite all the crazy stuff going on around me. We're gonna go ahead and go and kick this off because right now we got three of y'all and two people not ready to hit likes. Hey, hit like? Hey, how y'all doing? This your boy Rob Thomas Jr. and this is the real news behind the news. Oh yeah, today is Friday, September 18th, 2020, here in Shreveport, Louisiana. We want you to stay blessed, bro. Yeah, God gonna bless me no matter what, man. And I'll talk about that a little bit toward the end of the video, man, because things are crazy here all over in Shreveport. And that's what we really want to talk about. The 4 police officers who today here in Shreveport were indicted on negligent homicide charges in the murder, I think it was back in April of this year, of Shreveport citizen Tommy McLaughlin. Now, the videos have been all out there where in the videos, you see 2 or 3 police officers trying to apprehend this one elderly black gentleman. His name was Tommy McLaughlin. You go on in the video to see egregious, excessive force being used on this man. Whereas shortly, meaning only hours later, he was dead in police custody. So today, thanks to District Attorney James Stewart, and I'm gonna go real. No matter what I may have said about DA publicly on the real news behind the news over the last 3 years or whatever, I'm gonna bite my tongue and eat my words because what we have to realize here in Shreveport is we have a black district attorney, first black district attorney in the history of Caddo Parish. Now, this black district attorney, in just the last year here in Shreveport, has indicted more police in just the last year than all the white district attorneys that preceded him in the last 100 and some years combined. It's a great day in Shreveport because we're somewhat seeing justice being in the process of being initiated. But we have to remember, anytime these police get brought up on charges, that does not mean they will get convicted of those charges. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Hey, y'all that's here right now, please share the video. We need y'all to hit the likes, man. Hit the like button so we can try to get more people on this video. Most importantly, though, we need you all's comments. Your comments make my show go, the show that I do. I don't call it a show. Y'all comments make what I do turn out better for everybody because we all can create and come up on dialogue. And that's what it's really all about here at the Real News Behind News. I do what I do to sometimes offend. I literally go out my way to offend people. That's why I cuss sometimes like I do. But the whole purpose is not to offend anybody. It's to really shock you by what I say so much and so deep that you feel compelled to add to the conversation, even if you want to just call me an asshole. Your opinion matters. And that's the problem. We have too many so-called news organizations, too many so-called conscious people, too many so-called woke people, too many political people, religious people. Today would rather have you shut up. Baptism by fire for a conversation. I've been baptized by fire. When that man shot me point blank range in the face with that 44 pistol, about 10 years ago, this man messed up my whole face, bro. And God told me back then, Brother Yashua, he say, one way or the other, you will accomplish my mission, either in the penitentiary or as a free man. That night there where I got shot point blank range in the face, tore all this part here out of my mouth. That's why my mouth so fucked up, because it cost thousands upon thousands to try to get that shit done again. I mean, sorry to hear. Yeah, man, that man shot me point blank range in the face. My fault. I was selling drugs, and they came in and robbed and shot me point blank range in the face. And all night long, everybody, whether you Christian, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, whatever, you all have that sixth sense. Really, that sixth sense is the most important one, because that's your spiritual being telling you to get up and get out of here. And instead of getting up and getting out of there, I was trying to have sex with this one girl, and the robbers walked in on me and shot me point blank range in the mouth. That's why I talk so much now, because I was not supposed to live that night. Most people say I ain't supposed to be alive. Literally, 1/1000th of a centimeter to the right, it would have blew my brains out. But anyway, man, I got all off track. But again, we need you all to come and say, yeah, I've been baptized by fire. That's what we're talking about. But the original subject we talking about, these 4 police officers. Now, let me give y'all some real context as to what's going on with the police here in Shreveport. And how, y'all excuse me a minute. Y'all excuse me. Sorry about that, y'all. Now, here in Shreveport, Louisiana, over the last year, Joshua said, you know, we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect at all. As long as you're born again, that's it. Yeah, you're right. But let me tell you something. Sometimes the choices that the badass choices that we make, like I made that bad choice that night to be in that spot, you know what I'm saying? That's not a mistake. That's a choice. I made a bad choice, and only by the grace of the Creator, I didn't suffer the ultimate consequence, and that man killed me that night. Although when he shot me in my face and all this shit was hanging off, I was like, please, Lord, take me now, Jesus. Take me now. Oh, Lord, please take me now. It hurts so bad. But anyway, let's get back to these crooked police. Thank you for your encouragement, man. Thank you for your encouragement, though, Brother Yasser. You've been there since day one. You're another one that's been here with us since day one. But here's Shreveport. Now, we're going to go back to Mother's Day of last year. And it's crazy. At my house, you can even go on World Star Hip Hop and look at this shit. The shit that happened at my house on Mother's Day of last year, whatever it was, May 12th, 2019. The Shreveport Police Department ran up on the scene where they had been called earlier that day about a situation where it was a domestic situation where me and my girl, this is what happened. Me and my girl at that time, my fiance at the time, I still love the woman, but her and I had got into a disagreement. Now, the disagreement that her and I had got into was a culmination of just a year worth of frustration. You ever love somebody so much that you feel that you can't live without them, and then every day you come back home, that motherfucker she's sitting up on the couch looking like somebody named Uncle Leroy and shit. You know what I'm saying? You just get tired. You know, and we got into it on Mother's Day. Make a long story short, I told her, well, shit, if you feel that way, get the fuck on. She felt some type of way, and she started moving early that morning. 3 times that day, I left my house so that she could peacefully move. The 3rd time I came back, I'm ready to fight because I'm a little inebriated and shit like that. But now I see more people in front of my house, both be trying to help her take shit out my house. So now I'm hyped. My neighbors had called the police 3 times that day, saying that this lady will not leave this man property. The 4th time the police came, they came 40 cars deep, jumped out their cars, and proceeded to run to the wrong motherfucking house and beat the shit out of a bunch of elderly people who actually called them to help me. Yeah, that's called a Mother's Day melee, and unfortunately, that's not some shit I brag about. Yeah, the police jumped out the car that day on Mother's Day. I'm talking about 40, all because one police officer jumped out her car. When she came, it wasn't about two police cars. She got out of her car, her patrol unit, slipped and fell in some mud and said, oh yeah, somebody finna go to jail today. And she proceeded to get on her communications and make an officer down call. That was a crime, really, what she did, because it was not an officer down. She should have said, officer needs backup. But when she said officer down, what happened? They brought the Shreveport Police Department out to my house. Well, not to my house, because again, them motherfucking Keystone cops ran to the wrong house, beat the shit out of a innocent family that was just sitting there enjoying their Mother's Day as best as they could outside the fuck shit that I had going on over here. And they got beat up. So two of those police officers, in I think it was September, they finally got indicted last year. Same time, we had 6 police officers to get fired and almost immediately brought up on charge for selling steroids, buying and selling steroids. Keep in mind now, there was 2 police officers in the Mother's Day melee, which unfortunately happened at my house. I admit, Shreveport, United States, the 4 million people that saw that video of all that crazy stuff happening in front of my house, I apologize. That shit was not supposed to happen. But you lie that shit, you blame on the Shreveport Police Department, who now, again, in September of last year, now you got 2 being indicted for what happened in front of my house. You got 6 more that gets indicted for buying and selling steroids. Now here we come this year, all within the same year. Just what, 4 months ago, you had 8 police officers at one fucking time here in Shreveport to get fired and charges immediately brought up on them for a specific incident where they whooped the shit out of this one dude here. They whooped this boy so bad. This shit was not recorded on camera per se. But when the facts were, when these people had to go to the hospital, whatever happened, they whooped these boys so bad that the shit was in private. They could have got away with it. But the district attorney said, no, fuck that. We got to charge y'all with a crime. That's just how bad they whooped this boy, man. One night, I forget the brother's name. 8 of them got fired for that shit there. This was just 3 months ago. So now you're looking at the 8 last year, from September last year, 8 more to around about, June of this year. So that's 16. And now you got 4 police officers who today have been convicted. I mean, not convicted, but indicted on negligent homicide. So I said all that to say this. The police are worse than the motherfucking criminals. What happens when the cops becomes the robbers? This shit is crazy. What is going on with this police department? You got a good channel, great opinions, no worries. Yeah, these are just my opinions, man. Like I say, y'all gotta excuse me in expressing my opinions. I smoke cigarettes sometimes. Somebody had to come through and bring me a care package because these motherfuckers literally trying to take the place that I thought I was gonna lead to my son. And that shit got me hyped up. It's been a struggle over the last week, man. So I apologize for not being on this channel like I should have been consistently. But I ain't never been nowhere and I'm back, y'all. And let's get back to talking about these crooked ass cops here in Shreveport, Louisiana, where you have had 4 police officers today be indicted for negligent homicide in the case of Tommy McGartin, which had happened in April of this year. Now keep in mind, let me show you something again. You've had almost 20 police officers here in Shreveport, Louisiana, to get brought up on criminal charges in just the last 450 days. In the last 450 days, you've had 20 police officers in Shreveport to get brought up on violent criminal charges. The police are worse than the motherfucking thugs. The police are worse than the criminals because the police themselves are fucking criminals. Let me show y'all some real game. Do you realize, let me ask you a question. Where does your pool of police officers, the people who gonna fill the pool of police officers, where do they come from? What pool do they go fish these people out of? Our communities, whether it be black, white, or whatever. Where do our politicians, where the politician pool come from? Where your religious leader pool come from? The pool that everybody is chosen from, whether they're political, religious, or whatever type of leaders. It comes from your community. We got a fucked up, sick ass, violent society. Hey, this the streets. That's where they come from. That's where our pool of people that we have to pick from to be president of the United States, fucking city council members, police officers, all your public officials and people who work for the state, the federal government, or your locals or your local government. These people come from the community that they live in. So if you got all these violent ass police officers, what does that say about your fucking community? It's fucked in Shreveport, y'all. Well, again, just last week, was that weekend ago, we had to get out here and go hard in the paint because 3 grown-ass men got to shooting and a 2-year-old baby is still fighting for her fucking life right now. 3 grown-ass men got to shooting and shot a 2-year-old fucking baby. But these are the, potential people that your police come from. So it's no question or no, it's not even a fucking, thought to even be considered when you ask, why are the police so goddamn violent? Just this year alone, in the last 4 months, you've had 12 police officers here in Shreveport, Louisiana, to not only get fired, but literally arrested and brought up on felony charges of excessive force, malfeasance in office, and today 4 come and get arrested, booked and whatever, for fucking negligent homicide. The police are beating the shit out of people around here, man. You know what I'm saying? Black lives do matter in that sense. But let me tell you another part of what's going on in Shreveport. Negroes are killing so many motherfucking Negroes, and the Negroes who are doing all the killing have everybody scared, talking about not snitching. Whereas in the last year, we've had 20 motherfucking, 20 police officers to get fired for malfeasance in office and excessive charges, dope dealing. We've had police to get arrested for the same shit that niggas getting arrested for. But guess what? Majority of your killers in Shreveport, they don't go to jail. At least these 8 police officers here in last 4 months ago, and 4 today, so that's 12. 12 police officers have been indicted in just the last 4 months for beating shit out of people and killing people. But we had damn near 60 murders in just this year. The last year, over the last year. And ain't but maybe 2 of those people have even been brought to justice. We can't sit up here and champion when the police go to jail for killing motherfuckers and shooting motherfuckers when we don't even turn the motherfuckers that's killing us. We killing each other and won't even turn the killers in our communities over to the police. And it plays again back. Because who the fuck gonna turn somebody in to the police or call in to somebody, to a group of police who are really around here selling dope, who are really around here operating the real snitches. So let me show you what the real snitches are, who the real snitches are. Everybody know this one Negro that just got popped with all these bricks of weed, you know what I'm saying? All these grams of dope. He got all this here, get popped by the feds. This nigga looking at life. And somehow he get fed probation, fed bond. First of all, who the fuck gets a bond from the federal government when they come and arrest you? Nobody. So niggas wearing ankle bracelets while they out on bond facing federal charges get 36 years, and you see them 2 years from now back home on the streets. These are your real snitches because they did a lot of fuck shit, bro. And then they went down there and made a deal. Now the feds putting them right back on the streets. Here in Shreveport, they just, the mayor, the sheriff department, the Shreveport Police Department, because you got to remember your sheriff department and your police departments are two entities, no matter where the fuck you go. Here we got parishes, but it's still the same. That means that comes part of knowing how local, state, and federal government is set up. So the Shreveport Police Department is saying we need help to stop the citizens from killing each other. The Caddo Parish Sheriff Department, which is over the parish of Caddo, or just say Caddo County, which is where Shreveport is located, they saying the shit is getting too bad. The state of Louisiana is saying the shit in Shreveport is getting too bad. Now, the United States District Attorney for this area is saying the shit is getting too bad. So now you finna have the feds here in Shreveport, and they're putting their snitches out here on the streets, who in most cases are the ones that are doing a lot of killing. A lot of these gangbangers that try to make people be afraid to snitch. Niggas, you snitch, you get stitched. These niggas are really the ones who snitch. In a lot of cases, because undercover, they are working for them people. I know about 5 of them right now that I will not even be on the same street corner with. Them niggas supposed to be doing 40 years flat. And they ain't did 7 months in a federal penitentiary. Again, how the fuck you get bond under the feds? You got ankle bracelets on while you on federal bond. You go out commit more motherfucking federal crimes, get busted for that, and you back home on the streets. This shit crazy. But anyway, we could gloat and cheer for these police officers here in Shreveport that have been finally brought up on charges. You know what I'm saying? But we also need to bring some of these Negroes up on the we hiding out in our neighborhood up on charges for some of the shit we doing, killing ourselves. Because again, you had 3 grown-ass men last weekend to shoot a 2-year-old baby because they out there beefing about some dumb shit. And when these Negroes kill Negroes, y'all, let's just be real. Y'all be running here talking about free Lil Doodoo. Lil Doodoo needs to be in fucking jail. This nigga shot up a fucking apartment complex. And in one case, they shot up a house here in Shreveport a little bit over a year ago. Killed an 8-month-old baby. These Negroes shot in this house for a 3rd time now. It's 6 grown-ass people living in that house. They shot this house up, bro, for a 3rd time. Killed little Queen Dean, a little 8-month-old baby. And guess what? Today, that killer is still on the motherfucking loose. And you cannot convince me, even when I'm drunk as fuck, that somebody out of them 6 grown motherfuckers who lived in that house where that 8-month-old baby got killed, one of them motherfuckers did not know who shot that house up and why. We hiding fucking killers out in our neighborhood. Then you wonder why these sick-ass, violent, just as violent, steroid-raged police are in our neighborhoods killing us the way that they killing us. Look at the savagery we commit. This is not justifying them racist motherfucking police or so-called good police, because again, ain't no such goddamn thing as a good police, because if you see your people, your partner, jump out the car and start whooping the shit out of a black man before he even read him his Miranda rights, if you see your so-called police partner, you know what I'm saying, jump out the car and start shooting a Negro who ain't got nothing but a nail file in his backpack, but at the same time a white boy gets stopped and pulls out a gun like up there in Oklahoma, shoot 2 motherfucking police officers and still get peacefully apprehended. So you asking a bunch of drug addict, drug dealing gangsters to help a bunch of drug addicts, drug dealing gangsters. I mean, basically, no, I said that wrong. You're asking a bunch of drug addict, drug dealing cops to help us get our communities rid of the drug addicts, drug dealers, and gangsters. That shit don't make no sense, man. We're still talking about fuck the police, and in this case in Shreveport, we literally got a legitimate gripe. Because again, breaking news, you had 4 motherfucking police officers today to get charged with negligent homicide for the murder of Tommy McLaughlin back in April of this year. Before that, in June of this year, just 3 months ago, you had 8 of them to get arrested, fired and arrested, and brought up on charges of excessive force for an incident where they beat this one brother so motherfucking bad. It was 2 dudes that they actually whooped, but one of them they beat so bad that, again, in private, they had to go public and charge these motherfuckers for what they did to that boy here in Shreveport. That's just 12 in just say the last 3 months. That means, as you want to break it down to averages and shit, that means like a cop for the last 12 weeks, one cop has got been fired and brought up on criminal charges, some type of criminal felony charges for excessive force here in Shreveport. Now I'm gonna be real. I don't want to brag because I don't want them to come beat my ass, one day. But I take credit for a couple of these firings here in Shreveport. Again, what we doing here on YouTube, this shit, y'all just see an old ass ugly dude on here talking. No, we are actually out here, man, engaging things. The people who know me the people from Shreveport know me. I will be out there, man, trying to shut your city council meetings down. Motivating crowds to understand that this shit is not just by talking on social media. Not just trying to have a YouTube channel, but actually being a living YouTube channel. Because everybody in Shreveport know me, man. When it's time to fight, call that boy there. Because he going to challenge everything that this system has to offer, bro. No glory to me. It's the one reason why God allowed me to survive that night when I got shot. He allowed me to survive, man, for this moment. So now, at this moment, I'm saying we're at a crossroads here in Shreveport. Because again, we've had 20 police officers in the last year to be indicted on violent charges. But in the last years, going back to this time last year in Shreveport, we had almost 50 Negroes to shoot somebody, and none of them niggas spent a day in jail because everybody around here talking about no snitching. That's crazy. We're going to keep going, man. We need you all's comments, man. Really, I can keep going. There's a lot of stuff we can talk about. I've been gone for about, a week and a half now, y'all. Y'all haven't seen me. I apologize, because, at one point, I'm and even right now, I'm still about consistency. There's some crazy shit going on. Here again, in Shreveport, where you have certain groups of people who have been in power for so long. That's the best way to say, you say white people. But you have certain groups of people who've been in power so long that they can make certain moves and then come and think that you, as an innocent Negro or just a brother in the hood, is ignorant and don't understand local, state, and federal laws. So I'm having to deal with some shit. I'm supposed to be going to get my son, bring him home, but there's been a change in ownership of my home, and the new people only want motherfucking Section 8 people in the homes that they're buying. And I'm like, man, I've been here fucking 5 years, man. I thought I was finna get ready to buy this house. Man, you must be out your goddamn mind if you think I'm finna come. You finna come tell me, since I ain't got Section 8. Bitch, nigga, get out here and work hard for this for 5 years. You think you finna tell me I got a month? Wait a minute, Mr. Hey, didn't your president, Trump, say nigga got to December? So that's a whole nother issue, man, that really has hindered me. Now I be having issues coming up. It's like the attacks that I come up under, man, they really be like personal shit, but they really be political in nature here in Shreveport. They really be, man, y'all would be surprised, those who are watching us from other parts, of the shit that I have to face here in Shreveport just because of what I do here in Shreveport. Not the shit that y'all seeing right now on YouTube. To be honest, I like doing this because I like engaging with y'all. But the shit that I do on YouTube is just a byproduct of all the personal experiences and stories that I have for actually being blessed to be able to fight for the voiceless here in Shreveport. A lot of people know I don't brag at all, but a lot of people know I put my life on the line, receive a lot of death threats and shit like that, just to stand up for justice. It ain't about being out on the TV or everybody knowing who I am. Cause guess what? I'm the brokest fucking celebrity in Shreveport. Everybody else got motherfucking money. I'm sitting up here now figuring out a plan B. Cause these people are trying to put me out of the home now. You know what I'm saying? That's how they break us down as black men, or men, period. They break you down first financially. They take away your ability to make money. Look at the shit they doing to R. Kelly. Look how they did Bill Cosby. They shit was banned and blocked before they even got convicted in a court of law. They break you financially so that you can't fight them legally. It's crazy. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. It's not about me, man, because as y'all can see, I'm still here, and I don't give a fuck. Even YouTube. A couple of videos I tried to upload over the last few days. What did I go through? A lot of y'all, all y'all pretty much tell me that when I do these videos, you get notifications of it almost 24 hours later. When I do these videos, a lot of you all are sharing these videos, but they're not getting any like. That's called throttling. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of them use that tactic. It's called throttling, where they slow your channel down. They slow the amount of people who are able to look at your channel. They slow it down. Think about it. If I sit up here all day and just, talked about dumb tabloid trending shit, I probably would have about 10,000 subscribers. Right now. If I even talking about politics the way I do, if I came from a Democratic or leftist point of view, I would probably have about 7,000 subscribers to this channel right now. But since I tell people the real news behind the fuck shit that they're showing us in the mainstream media, they don't want that, because they do not want anything to cause people to question their official narrative. Man, I worked at news companies before in the military. That was my job. I was a photographer. And I'm telling you how they work. When you see these national news stories, do you realize a lot of cases they have generals in the high ranking? I'm not talking about on your local channel 3 news and shit like that. But when you see ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, MSNBC, a lot of cases they have generals. When they're telling you about certain military shit that's going on overseas in that motherfucking studio, making sure that these people stay on script. When they talk about these vaccines, they have members from pharmaceutical companies giving them a script that they have to read. And then once they talk about this vaccine shit, they go to commercial, and the first thing they do is show you what? A motherfucking pharmaceutical commercial. So I understand how we are being manipulated and played with the media. So my job is not to be a reporter. I give you the real news, behind the news, based upon all the facts, research, study that I have done for myself. Because again, I don't never let nobody just tell me something, and I'm going to be like, well, that shit sounds kind of good, so it got to be. Now, fuck that. You got to explain, break that shit down, dissect it, you know what I'm saying, so I can analyze it for myself. And then come back and say, man, that shit don't sound right. You know what I'm saying? And then when you start asking questions, you start seeing that you living in a false-ass motherfucking reality, where these police around here beat motherfuckers up. Did y'all see the story that just came to light over the last 2 days, where you motherfuckers around here protesting don't realize that the United States government is now considering allowing the military to deploy whatever fuck means they need to take back the cities of Portland, you know what I'm saying, Kenosha, all these places, New York, all these places where these protests are going down. There was a news article that came, and I got a new thing I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna start bringing out a news article one by one, maybe like 5, 6 videos a day. It's gonna be kind of cool. But there's a news article that come out, Revelation rather, has come out that the United States government over the last few months have been thinking about using their quote unquote heat gun on these crowds that's out here protesting. That sounds like some comic book type shit. No, this is the reality of what we're facing. The United States has a weapon. We know what they did down in Haiti. With they had a lot of testing on a lot of weapons. After Haiti had that earthquake and they had all that them riots and shit, whatever, about 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago. Either way it goes, y'all know when Haiti had that big ass earthquake. It was a lot of looting and shit in Haiti. The United States, basically, military went down to Haiti and they practiced a lot of their crowd control weapons on the Haitian people. They had this one sonic gun that beamed sonic waves so deep that it was making people shit on themselves. Literally, they got weapons. This shit sounds crazy, but this is the God's honest truth. All you gotta do is research. In Haiti, they were practicing these weapons. So now here we are. Revelation come out day before yesterday that your government right now is telling these motherfuckers, if we bring the feds in, we have the option now to use crowd control that our military uses overseas. That's why I say, understand what the fuck going on overseas to understand what's going on here. Now they got a weapon that's called the heat gun. All it is really a microwave oven that's gonna beam out motherfucking microwaves. And really, what's up, my brother? Finally got you again. Keep speaking the truth. Well, hey, thank you for joining, Miss Taylor. Thank you for joining us. And again, I've been having a tough go at it over the last few weeks, but God is good. I'm here today, and I'm really here to let people know that I ain't going nowhere, man. Even though y'all haven't seen me consistently like I've been trying to be, personal shit won't allow me, man, to do these type of videos. Because whereas other people can sit back on YouTube and be successful and just sit at home and do these videos, shit, I be having to get out here and try to get every dollar I can under this pandemic. So I'm grateful that you all are here. I'm more grateful that you all are here than you all are happy to see me, because God put you all here for a reason. Because sometimes I be want to cry, y'all. But the best thing to do is, anyway, let's go back on with this video. What was I mentioning, man? Oh, the heat gun. Y'all motherfuckers out here protesting don't realize that they are literally discussing using the military's crowd control to stop that bullshit that's going on up there in Portland. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit for a second, how these white folks can turn Black Lives Matter into the craziest shit that's going on in America. But this heat gun now is nothing more than a microwave. This bitch bounces microwaves, radio waves, off into a crowd. Those radioactive waves heat up the moisture in your body to give you a total burning sensation, almost from the inside out. That shit sounds like some shit that you would have seen in Buck Rogers in the 21st century TV show back in the 70s. That shit's a reality today. And they're literally fixing to implement. Do y'all realize how fucked up shit can get behind this election that's coming up? That's going to be filled with voter fraud. And it might be this time next year before you actually get a real president. Do you realize that the two people that's running for president are fucking psychopaths and dementia patients? But there's going to be election fraud. And if shit don't go the way the Republicans want it or the way the Democrats want it, there's going to be even more violence in your streets. Because now people, you see what's going on over there in Bosaria or all around the world. Well, man, they're not showing you in the mainstream media here. Well, around the world, man, there's hundreds of millions of people protesting fake ass elections. And they're using these protests to actually overthrow governments. You are seeing the same thing here in America. There is no way in the fuck you can trust this election coming up. This is going to be the most defrauded adventure in American history. The American people are going to be defrauded more by this election than any other event in human history, bro. And I know that sounds like a lot. I'm making it sound, but it is. You're finna witness the greatest motherfucking fraud in election history here in America, man. With this bullshit election that they got coming up. You cannot trust it if Donald Trump win. You cannot trust it if Joe Biden win. Because they going to still be counting ballots. They got to November the 23rd to count all the ballots. So this for the first time tells you, you're not going to know by the time you go to bed at 11 o'clock p.m. No matter where you at, Central Standard, Eastern, Mountain, or Pacific. No matter what time you go to bed or what time the polls close. This year here, you're not going to know who the fucking president is till damn near December. And if all these people who claim election fraud go to court, that shit could be in court till this time next year. And guess who's still the president till then? You guessed it, Donald Trump. So either way it goes, damn near 2020 is Trump, yeah. Whether we like him or not. But anyway, man, we got all the way on elections. We need you all's comments, man. Other than that, man, we can shut the show down. But I really started this show to talk about the police here in Shreveport. I'm feeling good because I haven't seen y'all in a while. Hold on. Look on there. Mouth dry as fuck. For real though. Now, any of y'all got anything y'all want to talk about? Everybody that's watching right now, we got 11 people here. Where y'all from? What kind of fuckery is going on in y'all community? If you're not from Shreveport, with y'all police. Because again, the whole title of this police is about the 4 police officers who got indicted today for negligent homicide. People of Shreveport, we're kind of like happy to see that a black district attorney, who at one point I had said really wasn't doing shit for the community, but he has made sure that in these cases, at least justice for the people who have been murdered, Brother Tommy McLaughlin, and there have been others, you know what I'm saying, that's been murdered over the last year by the police. I think in the last year and a half, well, I know for a fact in the last 2 years, the police have murdered 7 people here in Shreveport. Murdered. That's not including all the people that they whooped the shit out of. And again, I'm a witness, unfortunately, to what happened in the infamous Mother's Day melee. Well, 2 of them last year got fired behind some shit that happened that started at my house. You know, that was a tragic, for me it was a tragic situation because, again, as a advocate here in Shreveport and the person that people quote unquote call a leader, which I don't think I'm a leader, man. I just see shit that other people don't see. I've been blessed to have a gift of insight. And when I see injustices, man, I can't let that shit ride. Even though I've done a lot of evil in my life, God has blessed me to flip the script now. And when I see this evil and all this other bullshit going on, I can't be silent. So it's like he created a hybrid. I had one big brother always tell me, say, man, you see, Rob, you like a hybrid. You can walk amongst the people in the hood and then at the same time leave out the hood and go right to a board meeting with CEOs of cities and major corporations. And, it's nothing to brag about, but it's just God blessed me with this intellect and this wisdom. I figure I should use it. Our sheriff was selling keys. White boy was selling keys. Your sheriff was selling keys, or he was selling dope? Well, I mean, people, we're going to read Mr. Pimpston. Mr. Pimpston say, our sheriff was selling keys. White boy. We just had 8 police officers, again, going back over the last year. We had, I think it was 6 or 8 last year to get busted here in Shreveport for buying steroids, then come back and selling these steroids to, I guess, the public and members of the police department. Drug dealers. When I tell y'all around the country, man, let me show y'all some real game, bro. The police are the one who really control the dope game. And they control it for the cartels and your government. Look at what the federal, that might look up Billy Long Chattanooga, Tennessee. How long ago was this, Brother Pimpster, that this sheriff got caught selling dope? Y'all want me to show you the real game? I'm finna tell y'all some shit. It gonna blow your mind. You know who one of the biggest dope dealers and money launderers, or the two of the biggest dope dealers and money launderers in American history? Bill and Hillary Clinton. Go back and look at Bill Clinton's tenure. Do y'all realize Hillary used to work for the CIA? Hillary really was shit. Bill was just a puppet figurehead. But yeah, Hillary and them was using those savings and loan places in Arkansas while Bill was governor to launder money for the CIA, who at that time was drug dealing through Nicaragua. The Contras and all that. When all that shit was going on, think about what was happening. They were getting dope for where they were trading weapons for dope. They was taking the dope and bringing it back to America, putting it on the streets. Ask Freeway Ricky Ross. Freeway Ricky Ross told you he went from making maybe $100-something a day to $3 million a day, and didn't even know that the feds was using him to push a new product, crack, onto the streets. When crack hit the streets, all those savings, all that money was coming back to the big boys, which is your fucking federal government, CIA boys and all that, George Bush, Hillary Clinton, them. They were selling their dope, selling weapons, buying dope, trying to infiltrate a lot of the groups around here that were anti-government. That's how they broke up the Black Panthers. Remember COINTELPRO? That's how they broke up the Black Panthers. The hippies, a lot of the hippies, and all those people who were saying, give peace a chance. They got them hooked on drugs. Literally, invented crack just to bring cocaine into the black community on a wholesale level. You know what I'm saying? And basically, take the money that they made from this dope and laundered it through Hillary's and Bill's position as him being the governor of Arkansas through those savings and loans. That's really what Whitewater was all about. It wasn't just about niggas with failed mortgages or bad bid. No, that shit, Whitewater, they was trying to launder it. They was trying to find out where all this money was coming from in these savings and loan institutions in the state of Arkansas during that time. And they were being built, they were being built and created to launder drug money under Bill and Hillary Clinton. So when I tell you that the police are the ones who are putting the dope and the guns on, you cannot tell me. Look, let's look at Chicago. Chicago has the strictest gun control laws in America. Yet, these motherfuckers have increased the violence. I was just looking at an article yesterday. The violence in Chicago alone has increased almost 52%. Here in Shreveport, it has increased 72%. In New York, all around the country, the violence is increasing. But if you got Chicago, who has the strictest gun control laws in the country, where you cannot even buy a bullet, why the fuck and where the fuck are these cats killing each other with all these guns? Where they getting these guns from? Where they getting all this dope from? In places like Shreveport, Chicago, Baltimore. Where they getting all this money, dope, and guns from? Police. Here in Shreveport, that shit don't sound too far-fetched. Remember when they had all that goddamn Oxycontin to come up missing out of the police evidence room? And they still ain't found that shit. When Negroes get busted for bringing 4 or 5 keys, and this I ain't finna give up the game, but I'm finna tell you the truth. Nigga get busted for 4 or 5 keys. Some of these, like old boy was just saying, Mr. Pimpson was just saying, I done seen Negroes get caught with 6 or 7 keys, get arrested, and told, well, if you play along, we're not going to really charge you with these 6 keys. We'll just charge you with possession and attempt to distribute cocaine or whatever. And we'll make sure you don't get no more than 2 years. And then them 6 keys disappear. Who you think selling that dope, man? Who you think putting the dope out there on the streets. It's the same cops in a lot of cases, bro. Shit, in Shreveport, we seen that happen with the steroid case last year. Well, these motherfuckers were drug dealers. These cops were drug dealers. They wasn't scoring no small amount of steroids. They was scoring enough to supply maybe 5, 6 gyms around the motherfucking city of Shreveport. They were actually doing big things to the point them motherfuckers went to jail, I mean, instantly. And they trial didn't take long. All them motherfuckers got convicted and pretty much finna do jail time. Selling dope. Cops. The cops have become the robbers. You know what I'm saying? Cops around here in Shreveport, man, beat the shit out of or killed 20 people, man. 20 cops have beat the shit out of or killed people to the point where those 20 cops now are facing motherfucking felony charges. 4 of them right now, negligent homicide. The cops have become the robbers. But anyway, man, it's dark outside. I gotta go out there and get these puppies, man, situated. If y'all want me to, I'll come back. Matter of fact, I am gonna come back. Give me about an hour. I ain't got nothing else to do. Y'all go ahead now, man, and be prepared. What time is it? I'm done an hour and 7:53. I guarantee you, we're gonna be back by 9 o'clock. That's right. I watched a lot of those drug kids. Hey, Miss Taylor Humphrey, I'm going to say this. They come in with me a minute ago. I'm going to say this. My life, anybody that knows me, know my life has literally been a movie. And I'm not bragging. I've been blessed, man, to live in fucking mansions and townhomes. And I've also been motherfucking sleeping in motherfucking trap houses. You know? They used to pull us over and take our weed and let us go. Yeah. Most time they smoke it or whatever. Hey, y'all, I hate to break this up, but I don't want to get up, man, because it's going to take me about at least 30, 40 minutes to do what I got to do. I got to go get them puppies. I got to try to catch this store around the corner before it closed to get some hygiene material. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just come back at about 9 o'clock. If that's cool with y'all, man, go ahead, share this video here as soon as I end it, because people are not going to get the notification in a timely manner. But share this video. Be prepared for me to come back, and we just going to talk about whatever it is that you all want to talk about. And I'll come back and go a little bit more in depth as to what's going on, how the military is going to be brought into the streets, especially with this election coming up. So y'all be blessed.